Yankees fans, buckle up, because this story has completely shaken the fan base and sparked intense debate across the baseball world, as Cody Bellinger has reportedly stunned everyone with contract demands that very few people saw coming, and it could have massive implications for the New York Yankees' future plans. When the Yankees made the move to bring Bellinger into the conversation as a potential long-term piece, many fans viewed it as a smart, flexible option. A former MVP with elite defensive versatility, postseason experience, and a left-handed bat that could thrive in Yankee Stadium. But now, things have taken a dramatic turn, because Bellinger's camp is said to be pushing for a contract structure that is far more aggressive than most expected, both in length and financial commitment, and it's forcing the Yankees front office into a serious internal debate. From the Yankees' perspective, Bellinger represents a unique case. On one hand, you're talking about a player who has already reached the highest peak imaginable, winning an MVP and being one of the most feared hitters in baseball at his best. On the other hand, there are concerns about consistency, long-term durability, and whether the recent resurgence we've seen is truly sustainable over the life of a massive contract. And that's where the shock factor comes in, because Bellinger's reported demands suggest he sees himself not as a short-term bounce-back star, but as a cornerstone-level player deserving of elite money and long-term security. This isn't a modest prove-it deal. This isn't a short bridge contract. This is a demand that places him firmly among the highest-paid outfielders or position players in the league, and that has caught many Yankees fans completely off guard. The Yankees are known for spending, yes, but they are also known for being far more cautious in recent years when it comes to long-term deals for players with volatility in their performance history. That's why this situation is so fascinating. The Yankees desperately need left-handed balance, athleticism, and defensive flexibility. Bellinger checks all those boxes. He can play center field, first base, even corner outfield spots, and that versatility is extremely valuable for a roster that has struggled with injuries and lineup inflexibility. But the question now becomes whether that value justifies meeting demands that could limit the team's ability to address other needs, such as pitching depth, infield stability, or future extensions for younger talent. What makes this even more dramatic is the timing. Yankees fans are already on edge after recent seasons that fell short of championship expectations, and there's a growing sense that this offseason could define the direction of the franchise for years. Do the Yankees go all in on a high-upside gamble, betting that Bellinger's best years are still ahead of him? Or do they step back, refuse to meet the demands, and risk losing a player who could potentially thrive in the Bronx? That's the crossroads we're at right now. And let's be honest, fans are split. Some see Bellinger's confidence as a good thing. They argue that elite players should demand elite contracts, and that betting on talent has always been part of the Yankees' DNA. Others see it as a red flag, worrying that the Yankees could end up locked into another expensive deal that becomes a burden rather than a blessing. The front office, led by Brian Cashman, now has to weigh not just performance metrics, but optics, clubhouse dynamics, and long-term payroll flexibility. If the Yankees cave to these demands, it sends a message that they are willing to take big risks to win now. If they walk away, it could signal a more disciplined, measured approach that prioritizes sustainability over star power. And here's the twist: this situation could impact far more than just Cody Bellinger. His demands could reset expectations for other free agents or trade targets, influence how players view negotiations with the Yankees, and even shape how the team is perceived league-wide. The Yankees have always been a destination franchise, but that also means players and agents push harder, knowing the resources are there. Bellinger's camp clearly understands that leverage, and they're using it. The question is whether the Yankees blink. What makes this even more intriguing is how perfectly Bellinger fits the narrative of a Bronx revival story. A former superstar, written off by many, finding new life under the bright lights of Yankee Stadium, that's the kind of storyline fans dream about. But dreams don't win championships on their own. Smart roster construction does. And right now, the Yankees must decide if this is a calculated risk worth taking or an emotional move driven by need and pressure. One thing is clear: these contract demands have changed the conversation entirely. This is no longer a casual offseason rumor. This is a defining moment. If the Yankees agree, it could shape the lineup, payroll, and flexibility for years to come. If they don't, they'll need a clear backup plan because missing out on Bellinger means pivoting quickly in a market that's becoming increasingly competitive. Either way, this story is far from over, and Yankees fans should brace themselves for more twists, more leaks, and more intense debate in the coming days. Because when a player like Cody Bellinger stuns the league with contract demands this bold, it forces everyone from fans to front offices to rethink what the future might look like in pinstripes. And trust me, whatever decision is made here will be talked about for a long, long time.